What is being done to the President Trump should terrify all citizens of this country.
I remember when I was supporting Joe Biden and I was supporting Hillary, the whole I'm with her. I was like, oh, that's cute. I'm with her. I'm with her. Man, I hope she beat Trump ass. I hope she whooped his ass. What about Benghazi? That's what some people used to say at my job. But what about Benghazi? I ain't know a damn thing about Benghazi. I'm like, I don't give a damn about no Benghazi. I ain't know nothing about Benghazi. I didn't care about politics. All I knew is that if you're black, you support the left. You support Democrats, period. That's it. That's it. I know she was extremely hateful towards Barack Obama when she was running against him. Ooh, you could see the hate in her eyes. She did not like that man. She didn't like him at all. Oh, man. But then when I grew up, and I got in my 40s and I started checking out some politics and realizing that everybody that I've ever supported was on their BS. Now we're about to hear something good. So Trump Jr. is letting us know that his dad knows where all the bodies are buried. Yeah, right. Let's see what he has to say about this. This comes from Lisa Marie.
The foreign national who allegedly bribed Joe and Hunter Biden allegedly has audio recordings of his conversation with them. 17 such recordings. These recordings were allegedly kept as a sort of insurance policy for the foreign national in case that he got into a tight spot.
Ruh-roh. Now, there is 100% double standard. Democrats are running a complete banana republic. And we better wake up before it's too late. Well, joining me now to discuss the executive vice president of the Trump Organization, Donald Trump Jr. himself.
Uh-oh. You already know he about to drop some bombshells. He about to show some receipts. He about to give us everything we need to indict Joe Biden's old ass. Huh? And like I said before, if you're going to arrest Trump, then you need to arrest Biden. Put them in the same cell. That way, Trump can whoop his ass for the next 25 years. Huh? It'll be just like on Life. Y'all ever seen Life, the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? Oh man, they was beefing. They got life in jail together, and they was beefing ever since they was like from their mid-20s to their late 80s. This gonna be them. Let them fight it out.
Don, I'm sorry you're here under these circumstances, but I mean, what do you have to say after all we've seen in the last 5 hours?
Well, honestly, it's really about what we've seen over the last 5 years, Carl. And I guess at this point, I don't think anyone should be surprised. They should be outraged. They should be pissed off. But at this point, I don't think anyone should be surprised. There's two levels of justice. There's one for powerful Democrats, and there's one for everyone else. You've seen that. You've seen, the only precedent on a similar case like this is Bill Clinton. And it seems everything is 100% fine. You have the Joe Biden document scandal, and he was vice president and couldn't actually declassify those documents. They're sitting all over his Chinese-funded think tank. They're sitting in his garage where Hunter Biden had access while he was magically, raking in millions from China. And
yeah, how in the hell, where that money come from? A few people have done videos trying to figure out what business do they have? Like, where do they make their money? What services are they providing? Are they a massage company? Like, do they go over to Asia and massage the president and then they get their $3 million diamonds or payments that they get that goes through his children, his grandchildren, his nieces and nephews? Everybody's getting millions directly to their accounts. Huh? That right there is a crime in and of itself. But unless we got the right people in our in place, I was about to say in our pockets. But that's honestly what it is. All of them are crooked. They are crooked, bruh. Like, I used to think it was hilarious when Trump used to call Hillary Crooked Hillary. And I didn't know what it was about, but I honestly thought it was corny. Something like Ron DeSanctimonious. When he says Ron DeSanctimonious, I'm like, that's stupid. And when he said Crooked Hillary, I thought that was dumb too. Now I completely understand why he used to call her Crooked Hillary. I still don't know why he called Ron DeSanctimonious.
Ukraine and Russia, and we're to believe that he had no power and others had no power over him with this information and knowledge. I'm sure that's viable, just like I'm sure those people invested in a crackhead because it was a good business proposition, not because they were buying influence. That's not how it works in the real world, but I think the American people are now seeing that, Carl. They're seeing just how insane all of this actually is. They're seeing just how far the Democrats will go to pursue their political enemies, and it's outrageous.
Actually, the American people are seeing it, but not enough of the American people. Why? Because the people on the left, they got their dad going, they're like, la, 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 I don't want to hear nothing about Trump, blah, 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 y'all just crying, blah, 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 sore losers, blah, blah, blah. They don't want to hear that. And anytime you present them with any truth whatsoever, their whole thing is, well, all of them are crooked. I'm just going for the ones that put some money in my pocket, huh? The ones that support black people, the ones that support black injustice. Just ridiculous, man. And who support black injustice the most? We can go, man, that will be an extremely short conversation, Trump does, in comparison to Biden and Obama. But, you know what I mean? It's people are just pig-headed out there. Okay, let's continue.
I did a whole thing on my Triggered podcast last night with Kash Patel, underlining the prosecutor, both the lady prosecuting the case as well as Jack Smith, and all of the details and things that they've been reprimanded for disciplinary.
Is that a black man with a MAGA hat on? Y'all see that? Oh, man, I need to screenshot that and send it to my homies. Huh? A black man in a MAGA hat. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. He don't have a mustache, though. So, you know, when you see a black man in a MAGA hat, if he ain't got no full beard or mustache, goatee or something, then he lose points, all right? So that he looks like a plant.
In terms of, you know, what they've done historically. And let's just say these are not good, moral, decent people who believe in the Constitution. These are people who will do whatever it takes to secure the conviction that the Democrat Party is looking for. Right. And that's what Joe Biden's DOJ has been doing. That's evidenced across the board, not just with Trump.
Well, it's like create an investigation and then charge him with obstructing the investigation that shouldn't have been there in the first place. And you know, I look at this. Look at the Hillary Clinton standard. I mean, I just talked about it in the monologue. But you know, you have a woman who destroyed evidence that was subpoenaed, lied about it, wiped things with digital software, and yet no reasonable prosecutor would take that on?
Well, beyond that, she also did not have the ability to actually declassify that information, right? So not only is that obstruction and destruction, it's so much more.
Please lock her up. Honestly, make it like, do it, man. Lock her up. Put her in the same cell as Trump. Make her identify as a man. And let them battle it out. Now, that fight, I don't think that fight will be as easy as, you know, if Trump was in a cell with Joe Biden. I think Hillary Clinton might give Trump a run for his money. You know what I mean? They might trade days on who's going to cornrow whose hair. That's just, listen, she's an evil little thing. Look at her. Look at her. I'm sure she's going to sneak a weapon into jail. Already know she's going to do it. Look at her.
You could say what you want, but the president is the only person that had that power. So the Bill Clinton example of the audio tapes that he had of these people that he kept in his sock drawer and he was looked at and they say, you know what, it's okay. It's his property. Right. Why is that different? Other than it's because it's Trump and, you know, Orange Man bad and such. We've seen this before. Again, the problem is it's very hard for anyone to have any faith in these institutions that we once believed in, perhaps falsely, because I imagine this has been going on a lot longer than Trump, but Trump derangement syndrome has brought it out. They are using Stalinist tactics. These are the things that would make Mao, Pol Pot, and others blush. Right. You know, honestly, Carl, these are the things that if happened in other countries, we'd be talking about invading them to correct the injustices, and yet they're happening here in our backyard on a daily basis. Right. It's truly sick, and I just hope it's enough to get the American people and wake them up. You know, they have to understand what's going on. They have to understand that Trump is probably, you know, that last brick in the wall before all of the things that we hold near and dear just collapse, and we're controlled by these lunatics. And that's exactly what they are.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Well, you know, your guys' attorney, Alina Habba, spoke at the situation earlier today. Listen to this.
The targeting, prosecution of a leading political opponent is the type of thing you see in dictatorships like Cuba and Venezuela. It is commonplace there for rival candidates to be prosecuted persecuted, and put into jail. What is being done to the President Trump should terrify all citizens of this country. These are not the ideals that our democracy is founded upon.
I don't think it should terrify you. Honestly, I think it should be a breath of fresh air. Like, finally, like acceptance. The fact that you now realize that, yo, our country is just as crooked if they have to be. Like, sometimes it's good to be waking up, right? Not necessarily if you're on the losing end. The person that you want to win is the one being victimized at this time. You don't want that. But Trump might have to be the modern day Nelson Mandela of the conservative party. He might have to be. And like I said before, y'all probably want to consider the fact that if he does beat all these charges, if he does put himself in a position to actually win the presidency in 2024, have you considered his safety? They really want this man to be quiet. They want this man to shut up. It's more people than just Biden. He is against an entire establishment. He's going against, it's Trump against the most powerful nation in the world. You think that they're not going to pull whatever punches, do whatever they have to do in order to win this battle? Are you kidding me? Americans who are scared, we're so afraid. We're seeing that things aren't as perfect as we thought they were. Y'all need to be afraid because it's time that we all wake up and realize that these politicians are crooked as hell. I used to hate politics. I wrote this on Twitter. Now I really enjoy politics because it's drama, it's comedy, it's horror. You know, it's an adventure. It's the politicians that I don't like because all of them are fake ass actors in this game called politics. And they will do anything, even take advantage of the people who voted them in office just to pad their own pockets and prepare for their legacy, their families to be in position. That's why everybody that's in office almost are related or have been related. A new study just now came out showing that almost all of the presidents who was sitting presidents before are related in some type of way. Except for two. The two that they named is Ronald Reagan and it's Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. That's it. The only two that's not related to anybody, that's not in a bloodline to anybody else who's been president before, is Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump. That's it. And Ronald Reagan was shot. And black ass Barack Obama, even he is related to an ex-president. Why you think him and President Bush had such a close relationship ever since he was a little boy? Come on, guys. Being afraid, it's time to battle. It's time to be smart. It's time to get that information rather than being afraid. So you need to stop with all that fairy tale BS, thinking that everything is so perfect in our country. It's not, and it hasn't been for a long damn time.
This is not our America.
The deep state is literally fighting for its life. If your father gets reelected, it is going to be a complete repositioning of the entire government, no?
Oh, 100%. And, you know, what's interesting is, you know, and as someone who's a conservative and believes in all of that stuff, I wish we had a deeper bench, but I'm looking at all of the other presidential candidates, with, I guess, the exception of Vivek.
He said, I wish we had a deeper bench. Like it's like a game. I wish we had a deeper bench.
And they're all strangely silent. Like, you know, it's okay if they're doing it to Trump because that allows me to further my goals.
Absolutely. That's how it's supposed to be. Come on, don't act like you don't understand the game, Trump Jr. You don't have the same integrity as your father. You don't. So don't even act like you do. You are blessed from the hard work and sweat and tears that came from your dad. Okay, now not to say that you didn't work hard yourself, not saying that, but you don't have that same tenacity as him.
To grasp more power. You saw that with DeSantis a couple of weeks ago. Well, it's not really a big deal that they're weaponizing the government. Yeah, it's not until they do it to you, which they eventually will. And that's the problem, Carl. We don't have a deep enough bench. We have a bunch of conservative supposed weaklings that are out there too afraid to take on these people. These are the people that will get into Washington and they will do what their donors tell them to do. They will do what their handlers tell them to do. They'll do what Paul Ryan and Karl Rove and all the other neocons and rhinos tell them to do. That's apparent by their silence today. This is real stuff. Alina's 100% right. And that's why it's great that it's actually in Miami, because the people of Miami, a vast majority of them, came from places that there were these kinds of Banana Republic persecutions, where people were thrown in jail for no reason, where they created crimes and selective prosecutions to be able to imprison their political enemies. You get a couple of those people in a jury and this isn't going anywhere, but the idea is to try to hurt Trump, because the deep state, the uni party, they fear what he will do going back in a second term when he doesn't have to get reelected, when he doesn't have to make any more friends.
I need for somebody to make sense. Now, I completely get that Donald Trump Jr. is pissed off, and I would be too if somebody was picking on my dad, arresting them, and all that other stuff. But here's my thing, bro. Can somebody please make sense for me why they have opened the border the way that they have? I still don't understand that part. I get it. The more workers we have, the more we can build a nation, the more that we can, stretch our finances, but it takes money to make money. We got to make sure that we feed and provide health and shelter and protection for every single human being that comes across this border. And if they aren't citizens, that means that they don't have to pay any taxes. That means they don't have to pay to play. They just benefit off of everybody else's dime. That right there, I need to understand. I really need to understand that. And reason why I need to understand that is because it seems like Trump is the only person that want to keep them out. Everybody else is want to just break it down. Break it down. Let them in. Let them in. We good? Let them in. Let them vote for us. I mean, we're not supposed to say that part. Just let them in.